AITAH for telling my sister her boundary will destroy her relationship with her nephew. I30F recently got married and had a baby. My sister, 24, does not like my husband and will not tell me why. When I first brought him home to introduce everyone, she was a bit standoffish, but in general she doesn't really like people. Very few friends, never brings anyone home to meet the family, and has never wanted to spend time with anyone I brought home. Before my husband and I got married, I asked her if she had any issues with him. She said no. And in that he seemed nice. I asked her to be my maid of honor and thought all was well. Fast forward to last week, my husband goes to drop off something at the family home. Sister lives with my parents, and came back looking shaken. I asked him what happened, and he said he knocked and went into the kitchen, and my sister told him my parents weren't home. He said he tried to give her the stuff I had asked him to drop off, and she told him to put it in the garage. It was food, even though they were in the kitchen. He said as he was picking the stuff back up to go, he tried making small talk, commenting about the weather, and she snapped at him, saying don't dollar and at hashing talk to her, and stormed out of the room. My husband has never given me reason to worry about him being inappropriate or anything, but that was where my mind first went. We live near them, and he had been gone for less than 5 minutes. I called my sister to ask what happened, and she hung up on me. Messaged her, and she ignored me until this morning when I bombarded her phone with messages because I wanted to resolve whatever was going on. She finally replied and basically said she hates him, has always hated him, and her only boundary is that he never talks to her. In the 7 years we have been together, they've spoken maybe 5 times, and that was mostly him greeting her. I asked her why, and she said she doesn't need a reason. She just doesn't like him, and doesn't want him around. I asked her point blank if he had done or said something to make her feel like that, and she said he didn't do anything, and that she doesn't need a reason to feel how she does. Now my family is very close. My other sibling, brother 29, and I sometimes drop by unannounced to help my mom cook dinner or just hang out. My parents encourage this as they say they like having us around. I told her it's going to be weird if he can't even just greet her when we come over. She said she was sick of me having a stranger in her home. I told her I didn't realize she felt that way about him and said I wouldn't ask him to drop stuff without me being around anymore. Mind you, she's had 7 years to get to know him, and I didn't realize she still considered him a stranger. She then said that that was not the point, that she didn't want him talking to her at all, and that was the boundary she wanted respected. I told her that I would tell him and try to keep them apart, but that would mean her time with my son. Her nephew, 6 months, would be affected because my husband will not be comfortable with our son being around someone who hates him. Frankly, I'm now uncomfortable with it too because I don't know what ideas she will try to put in his head. It's also going to affect my parents' time with him, because if my husband can't bring him around, it's going to affect the amount of times he goes over there. I didn't tell her, but that hurts my heart because they absolutely adore my son. He's their first and only grandchild so far, and they love spending time with him. Always telling us to. She said I was playing the victim, painting her as an asterisk itch, and trying to trample the only boundary that she has set for herself. I'm currently thoroughly lost and trying to figure out the best way forward. AITAH here, and is there any way I can fix this situation? Edit, I never expected so many replies in such a short time, but I appreciate the responses. To clarify a few things and answer some questions. I've mentioned it to my parents and they're aware of what happened. My mom said she sit my sister down for a conversation, but from what I hear my sister keeps making reasons to avoid it. Busy, tired, wanting more time, etc. My dad says not to worry about it and it will blow over. My dad had a heart attack recently and is currently recovering, so I don't want to push it with them right now and stress him out, so I left it at that with him and changed the subject. My partner is amazing and has never given me reason to worry about him being around any females. I admit I was worried he had done something when he told me how she responded, because I can't wrap my brain around why she would blow up over just small talk. But she herself said he didn't do anything. I know my brother has had partners, but he hasn't brought any home. I myself didn't bring anyone home until I was serious about them and thought there might be a future. Brought home a grand total of 2 guys, current partner and my ex from college. Regarding her mental health, she has always had a bad temper, has snapped at me many times with no apology, even when she realized later she was wrong. G accused me of taking her shoes, which she had actually just left. There has never been anything on this level before. Top comments. Sufficient_ad_6051. This is very weird. You should speak with your mom and other brother. See if sister has disclosed reasoning, or if she has otherwise been paranoid. Okay. _introduction 9400. It reads like jealousy to me tbh. Maybe she feels he's taking her away from the family. But if he's done nothing to her, and she won't give a reason if I were op, I'd go low or no contact with the sister. Family events, baby showers, parties, etc., everyone would be invited except for her. You don't want to talk to my husband and we can't resolve this. Fine Elo, you're on your own. I don't entertain childishness like this. Henky Dinkray. Can someone make a bot for what a boundary really is? She can make a boundary that she doesn't have to talk to him, or that she will leave when he comes over. But not that he can't talk to her. And since it's not her house, I don't think she can make a boundary that he can't come over either. A boundary is an action you take, not an action you impose on others. For example, a healthy expression of a boundary, healthy in quotes, because she needs help, is if he comes over, I will go to my room. If he talks to me, I will leave and go for a walk. Vinigargle 757. Thank you. This isn't a boundary but a control tactic. She's trying to undermine Op's relationship and cast aspersions. Unless there's something Orp isn't telling us. NTA. Sister is behaving really weirdly and comes across as bitter and divisive. Update comment 1 to 5 hours later. Update. I'm blown away by the number of responses. I'm trying to read them all, but replying to all is a bit difficult due to the volume. I appreciate all the responses though. It gives me perspective. To clarify, the only reason I consider my husband might have done something is because I'm in healthcare in an environment where all sides of all stories have to be looked at. My first instinct was that she was being out of line for no reason, but I always try to look at both sides, and was trying to figure out why she said what she did. Both he and her said that he didn't do anything, and I'm going with that. Growing up, my brother was the golden child. Dad only wanted a son and kept talking about his son and his legacy. My dad has evolved over the years. He doesn't do that anymore, and makes all his children a priority now. My dad when I was 10 is a different man to the one I have now. And my sister was my mom's favorite. She would always say that to us. I never wanted to be the calm princess my mom wanted. I wanted to make my dad happy and be as boy-like as possible, and refuse to wear the dresses, etc. She wanted me to. That relationship has also evolved. My mom and I are on much better terms now than I was the oddball and my siblings, and I weren't really close until everyone was past 14 or 15. Then we started finding shared interests, etc. My husband was beyond happy to marry into my family. My parents treat him like their own son, and he has said many times they feel more like family than his own family. He has 3 brothers, but he's the youngest by 10 years and felt left out a lot. He once told me he was excited to have a sister-in-law, as he has none of his own, and isn't close with his brothers. So this whole thing has him down, and I feel horrible for even considering he had done anything inappropriate, when I knew deep down he hadn't. I was just trying to figure out what was going on. My sister told my dad she will sit down with us to talk about it this afternoon, when I get off work, so waiting to hear what she says in his presence. We'll update again after we talk. Update comment 208 hours later. Update 2. Spoke with my dad and sister a couple hours ago. Basically, my dad asked both of us what happened. I gave my side, and she gave her side. My dad asked her if she was sure she had no reason to do that. She said she had a reason that she didn't want to say. My dad said, well, that's that we won't force anyone to share anything ... She then says, okay, she'll tell us why. She said when she first met my husband he asked her about a guy. Let's call him Mr. L. She said he asked her how Mr. L was doing. Then she turns to me and goes, yeah, I know you read my diary. The guy I had a crush on, and wrote all my private thoughts about. The first day your husband met me, he asked me, and that told me everything I needed to know about him. I'm still flabbergasted that she would say that because first of all, I didn't know she had a diary, and even if I did know I would never have read it. I had a journal once, and my cousin read it, teased me mercilessly. I would never wish that upon someone else. I was surprised at first, then I got pissed because I realized she was making stuff up at that point. She met my husband 6 years ago. We had been dating a year before I introduced him to the family. 2 years ago, my sister went abroad for a year, college-related. A friend of mine who started school late and was in the same program as her was on the same trip. I recognized the name as the hot professor my friend came back gushing about. I asked my sister if that was the professor that worked at the university, and she went, yes, you see, is that your confession? I asked her how my husband asked her 6 years ago about someone she only met 2 years ago. She stopped talking for a good minute. Like her brain was buffering, then she snapped at me that I just didn't understand how hard it was for her to keep having a stranger in her home, and stormed off. My son is going to grow up without getting to know the only auntie that he has, but I cannot fix a situation that she is making up. Growing up, I was not an awesome sibling. There were petty arguments, stupid fights over stuff like the TV remote, what to have for dinner, etc. But I thought we had a better relationship the last few years. We were sending each other memes, cracking jokes, took a few trips together. Dinners, lunches. She was my maid of honor at my wedding, and visited me in the hospital every day I was there. Emergency C-section with complications. I was there for a week, and checked on me every day postpartum for the first couple months. I'm still hoping this can somehow be fixed, but if she's making up lies and unwilling to communicate, I don't see what I can do. Edit. I asked my husband about it. He doesn't remember asking her anything about any guy. He doesn't recognize that name at all. My husband and sister never dated since so many people are asking. Yes, I know for a fact. The areas he went to school and worked are far from where we are, and the way we were raised, we didn't go out much. Yes, my husband is a different race from us. But I would like to think my sister isn't racist. We are Asian, he's black. Edit. Same comment next day. Edit to add. I see a lot of people calling her racist, and to add to an already long post. I didn't think it was that because my ex was Asian and she didn't seem to like him. But we were only together 6 more months after. I introduced him to the family, so they didn't interact anymore. My family at its core is Asian, starting with my grandparents. But over the years there has been a lot of mixing, a lot of mixed cousins, etc. And she gets along with my cousin, half black, half Asian, and his regarding the mental health. I've brought up her anger issues in the past, and she doesn't want to try any type of therapy or evaluation. She's a grown woman, and as long as she isn't a direct threat to herself or exhibiting violence to others, it is completely her choice. Some people are mad that I use the word female ... Odd thing to be mad about. I use the words male and female on a regular basis. Never known it to be an issue. Update comment 3. September 2nd, 2025. 5 days from OG post. Small update. To everyone saying she needs therapy, etc. I have suggested it to her in the past because she had some anger issues, but and you cannot force someone to go to therapy. It has to be their own choice. I spoke to my dad again this morning. He said he tried talking to her again, but she's avoiding the topic. I told him don't worry about it, and that he and my mom are welcome at my place, but I wouldn't be coming around as often to a place where I have safety concerns for my son and husband. Dad said he understands. My mom is a bit pissed about the whole situation, mostly about what my sister did, and backs my stance. My mom told me she asked her how she would feel it. Someone was treating my brother the same way she was treating my husband, and then she threw a fit saying my mom was seriously trying to guilt her, which I take to mean she knows she was out of line, because why would you feel guilty if you hadn't done anything wrong? For those saying I need to tell my parents kick her out, that is not an option. She just finished college and is looking for a job. She can't afford to move out even if she wanted to. We might be at odds now, but keep in mind, this is my only sister. We were not the closest, but usually were there for each other in the past. Mad as I might be at her, I don't want to see her homeless. To the people mad about the whole race thing, I have 27 aunts and uncles. Yes, my grandparents were busy. My family is well and truly mixed. There's black, white, Hispanic, more Asian, Filipino. If you can think of the race, it's probably mixed into my family. That's why I said I didn't think it was because of his race. She seems to hate most equally. She and my brother don't always get along, but she's being extra nice to him. He told me she told him that he's the only one on her side, and everyone is against her. However, he has made it clear that he is not taking sides. He is not going to change how he interacts with anyone, and is speaking to both of us. That's completely fine by me. He's her brother, and isolation probably won't help her in any way. OOP's comment. Commenter. Just heard your story on YouTube with fake updates, that your parents are taking her side, and you are going there without your husband because they pressure you. Just in case it goes anywhere near this, don't. Stand by your husband. You do not need toxic family members. She is your only sister, but many people live their lives without ever having a sister. Your nuclear family is your husband and child now. To follow your process, you only have one husband. And by the way, she's probably into your husband. OOP. That's hilarious. Can you send me the link or the channel name so I can take a look? The actual situation is not near that. My parents are trying to avoid taking sides, but both agree she's not making any sense, and have acknowledged she has anger issues, but without her being willing to go to therapy, they can't force her. We will be staying far away from her, but all other family is welcome at my place.